episode 3, I shared with my audience what a purpose-driven life looks like, how hard we worked, how many hours we put in to make the vision come to pass. I also share with my audience that God would send earth angels along the way to help you carry the vision. What I discovered that a lack of motivation had stemmed from obstacles that were standing in my way, and what I had to do was move them. Once it is confirmed by God and you believe it in your heart that God has called you to the front lines, you would do anything it takes in order to fulfill that call, because it won't let you sleep. It will just keep going and going and going until you get up and do something about it. After God had sent a team of individuals to help carry the vision, and not only that, to help fill in the missing pieces, people that guided me throughout this process, people that I have became a mentor to during this process. God was seeing me every step of the way and ordering my steps from point A to point B. I've depended on God every step of the way to help me carry out this vision and the right people to fill in the missing pieces. In my beginning stages of filmmaking, my brand would start to expand. After several beginners projects, we would go on to buy our own equipment, buy computers, buy anything that we needed to make this production a success. Once I became established and knowledgeable, I wanted to center my screenplays around faith and family-friendly films that minister to the soul. I'm what you call a soul writer. I write from the soul. But this particular film, I wanted to bring awareness to the sickle cell disease community because it hit so close to home, and everyone around me was on board.
I don't feel comfortable doing the research project on sickle cell anemia.
You want me to switch your partner?
Well, not really. It's just I don't want Kevin to. Never mind.
Wait a minute. You'll be fine. What better person to touch on this subject than you?
Once I finished the screenplay, I finished out at 30 pages, and I allowed my family to take a look at it and glance at it and let me know what it is that I needed to change or, how I can make the script better. Until my son Sean said, "We are not looking to do a short film. You need to be writing and focusing on a feature film. So go back to the drawing board and add 15 more pages." And that's exactly what I did. I added 50 more pages, and I had 45 pages, which is enough for a feature film. And at that point, he said, "Okay, now we're ready to shoot." And it became my first feature film that would get a distribution deal. I thought to myself, finally, someone believes in my work. I made it, mama. I made it. I was so excited when we got the distribution deal. It was like a celebration of all the hard work I had put in. I have good news.
Okay.
It's Corey. Corey may have found a potential cure for the sickle cell disease.
What kind of cure?
Well, it's a bone marrow transplant.
That doesn't sound like Corey would think of something like that. He's a child. Which one of y'all came up with this idea?
Well, he's doing this school project, and he ran across some information, and many
The
were
devil
cured
is
from
a
it.
liar. God is not pleased with all of this new technology. Look, when my daughter got diagnosed with cancer, I just prayed to God about it and patiently waited for something to happen.
And do you remember what happened?
That's not fair.
I just knew that we weren't going to get the audience that we were seeking for in this first film, but I didn't care. I wanted to stay true to myself. I promised myself that I would continue on in the faith and write those films that help people's soul heal. After we wrote Walk by Faith, Sean had graduated from New York Film Academy, and he went on to touch on that same subject in the sickle cell disease community, and his film was Down by the River.
The thing is, Hannah has splenic sequestration. The sickle cells in her body are pooling in her spleen, causing a sudden drop in hemoglobin.
What does that even mean?
Her spleen is acting like a sponge. It's retaining a lot of blood. We're giving her blood transfusion, but she may not make it through the night. I'm sorry, we're doing everything we can.
While we were seeking funding for our future projects, we started to host workshops at a pocket-sized fee.
My name is Sharon C. Jenkins, and I'm the master communicator. And one of the most profound moments in my life is when I met Joan Montreal. Now, let me explain something to you. I've always been a creative. From the day I was born until this wonderful senior side of my life, I have always been a creative, and I've sought those things that would, personify the gift, the natural gift that I have to be creative. And I met this beautiful young lady at a film class. I wanted to know how to do film, and there she was. So this was several years ago. Well, after I met this beautiful young lady, it just seems like she kept popping up in one way or another. I did a celebration for Black History Month, and I had the privilege of interviewing her. And then I found out about Brilliant Women in Film.
Producer, director, actor, and award-winning screenwriter. Come on up, sweetheart. Playwright, author, film editor, and entrepreneur. She is the visionary and founder of her production company, Wisdom Productions LLC, and BWIF, Brilliant Women in Film, an all-female award-winning filmmakers group located right here in Houston, Texas. Y'all give it up for Miss Joan.
My experience with Joan Montreal has just been phenomenal. She is a phenomenal filmmaker, but she has the heart of a servant leader. And I am extremely proud to say that not only is she a professional, but she is also a teacher. I have learned so much from her.
I am Alicia Williams, and I am here to just give a few encouraging words to someone who I hold near and dear to my heart, that I've known for, I don't even know how many years. I think I met her when I was like 8 or 9. Sister Trina, she is the epitome of class. She's fun, she's motivating, she's a pusher, and she has definitely made a difference in my life. Working with her was one of some of the funnest moments that I've had. I didn't necessarily used to like to sing, and honestly, I'm just thinking about this. Now that I think about it, we used to do the resurrection play for Easter with Household of Faith, and every year I had to sing I was the woman with the issue of blood. And every year I quit. And every year she pushed me and she pushed me. And no matter what plays we had, she always gave me parts that I felt like I couldn't do. But for some reason, she would pull that out of me. I honestly miss those days. Those were the good old days. We had a lot of fun. We were together all the time. She taught us. She imparted in us. She made sure that we understood the role that we were playing. She helped us embody it. She taught us how to transform from who we are into that character.
In the industry, I ran into some investors that only wanted to put their money behind content that had sexual content or, violence in it. And I just wanted to stay true to my ministry. And I didn't want to ruin my witness because so many people were watching me. Obstacles can be distractions. But when you first sit down in pre-production, you get the chance to iron out the kinks to better serve you in the future and follow this format, adding on to it when needed. The movie I wrote next was Closer to Home. This story came about with a young girl running away from home. She actually knocked on my door. It was a very challenging time because when her parents came, I can see why she would run away from home. They were very abusive. And so I followed her for maybe a year or two, and I never did forget her. But I always wanted to tell her story, and I was able to do that with Closer to Home.
If you don't get your act together, I will do anything and everything in my power to protect that innocent child. In there. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I hear you.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Closer to Home was about a little girl who grew up in foster care. And once she became old enough, she became a social worker to help families in need and in crisis. Sometimes we have obstacles in our lives that we cannot avoid. In some situations, it can become very challenging to create a consistent flow of content when you are a caregiver. I truly believe that these kinds of situations makes us stronger and wiser. It gives us the compassion to create content that has healing powers. But you find a way to do it because you know that God has need of you. God doesn't put no more on us than what we can bear. And He will give you the grace. He will give you the stride. He will give you the strategy to finish your course.
And I look forward to years and years and years of continuing to work with this wonderful, beautiful woman.
I love you. I am here to support you. I thank you for every phone call. Listen, I still remember your old number. It was 504-822-1215, if I'm not mistaken. And listen, I used to dial it all the time, and we would sit on that phone and laugh, and we would sit on that phone and talk. And I just want to thank you for even entertaining me as a kid, right? I love you, and I pray that great success in everything that you do, and whatever you touch your hands to will turn to gold. And because of you, I definitely believe. I love you, Sister Joan.
In 2017, I founded BWIF, which is Brilliant Women in Film, an all-female writers group and filmmakers group. So I'm going to have all the details for you on episode 5, so you don't want to miss episode 5 because you just may want to join. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you can visit my website at wisdomproductioninternational.org. I'll see you soon.